welcome back to Scooby Algo Trades with Scooby Doo here, and I think I have another video probably not uploaded, but anyway, this time we are, because on the other video, I think I can just run it through very quickly. There was a guy on YouTube called Part-Time Larry, and he interviewed this guy who set up a whole system, a very small sort of Quant Connect sort of container thing. And I went through the whole process, but it's mainly only for crypto, and it's very hard to get custom data in and stuff like that. So I was kind of looking around, and another thing I came across was, that took a whole day or two. So another thing I came across was Qlib, which is open source, but it kind of started with Microsoft research. There's not a lot of people using it out there, and it's kind of difficult to set up. I've been at it for a few days now, but I think I'm more or less at the point where at least I have it set up right, and I have the data in. Now, I went the Docker container way, so because I didn't want to have to use Conda, Mini Conda, and Anaconda, and all that, because and the Docker container has all that in it with the right Python versions and everything. Because last time I did that, I kind of ended up screwing up my other things, my Cursor AI and things like that. I didn't know what versions of Python were where, So hopefully the Docker container is up to date enough. It does have some new things in it that I haven't checked out yet, like where is it? Is it on the GitHub? I'll show you in a minute. Where is it? Obviously, there's so many things open here. This RD agent thing is, I think, supposed to be part of it as well. So I'm not entirely sure what it does yet. But I think that's in the newest version of Qlib. Now, Qlib itself, you get from the GitHub, and so I'm only just starting. I was just talking to a programmer friend the other day who actually does programming, unlike me, and he suggested to use GitHub to save all my stuff, and I did do that before. I did try and do that before with some stuff. I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I am trying to implement that here just so I can save my own changes as well. So it's Qlib we're looking at the moment. I don't know if it's any good. The reason I think I might like it is because it seems to have a clear pathway. And of course, I did mention to you already, and if you haven't, do check out Kaggle. And that is where I got a free 3.5 gigs of data from 1960. All right, so I think it's definitely worth checking out. It's mostly for data scientists, but there is financial quant stuff in there. Okay, so Qlib is what we're checking out now. And what Qlib does is it uses this stuff, Jupyter notebooks, which I've kind of used before, right? So you installs Jupyter and all this, and it's just like, it looks like a lot of data scientists work this way. So that might be another reason, another pro instead of a con to use it. So you can use these sort of cells in Jupyter, and you use that for your Python more or less. And the other way is you can have your console in here as well, or a terminal as well, right? Once it's all set up. Okay, now it took a long time. If you need help, if you're interested in setting up Qlib, or if you're looking at it and it's something that you think you might like as well, you can always let me know, and I can run through everything that I've done. It's on ChatGPT there. I found ChatGPT a little bit lacking, so I've moved over to Claude. It seems to be a little bit better with the programming, and it seemed to sort some of the issues out that ChatGPT wasn't getting at. And so we've ran some of the stuff there already, and I'm just downloading XGB Boost or XG Boost, Cat Boost, and just a couple of other things for machine learning here. I might do just a few small machine learning examples since I think we have the data and since I think I have it up and running. So I'm just making sure that it's not temporary, because you have to be careful with Docker containers. When you have them open, a lot of the times any changes you've made are only temporary. So there is ways to create a new image and save everything you've done, like all these downloads and everything I'm doing now. I am going to now save a new image again. Not only that, I'm going to push it up to GitHub. Again, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, but I've made progress, and I've installed Qlib, which I think I'm quite proud of. And if I can get a proper algorithm to run on it, especially a machine learning one, I'll be even more happy, because I can't tell you how many times I was thinking of throwing in the towel on this one as well. It's almost like Zipline or something. Well, it's similar to that, I suppose, Microsoft's version of it, or whoever is involved in it. But this is kind of typical with open source stuff. You can always run into problems and stuff. But I plugged that 3.5 gigs of daily data in, okay? Now, I want to get more granular data as well, but we'll do that with time. And Qlib has an immense amount of stuff written about it. So the documents are quite good, which is good. There's a lot of documentation on it. There's a Qlib demo here as well. They did a demo. There's sort of a demo thing you can look at. All right. I could probably let you look at that while I go off and make a cup of tea, if you don't mind. Or you can go look at it yourself, I suppose. It's in there. It's in all the documents. It just goes through how he runs it up. He does it with Conda and all that. I didn't do that. I did it with Docker, right? So, but if you want to do it that way, how about it? And as I said, it has all this new agent stuff in it. And I think it has some AI, supposed to have some AI stuff for importing the data, but I tell you what, it didn't work very well with me. I kind of ended up having to do everything myself, so I'm not sure that it does have any AI there. But anyway, I think it's supposed to. In the meanwhile, I'm just going to let this torch update as well here, and I'll come back to you and get you a cup of tea. But yeah, Qlib is where we're at right now, and then it looks like it has quite a good workflow that I can follow. I think there's kind of 3 different ones or something. I'm checking it out. I think this might work for me, and as I said, a lot of data scientists and other people work in this notebook environment, so it'll be handy to get used to that as well, with Jupyter and all the rest of it. So yeah, this looks like maybe then again, not a lot of people are using it, so there may be reasons for that. But I'll let you know if I can use it. I'm happy enough with it so far. I think. We'll see. I'm just going to get a cup of tea. I'll be right back. Alright, it's still downloading there. So I can just run through with you quickly, and probably for myself as well, what this Qlib thing is, right? So it just says here, status set created, public data collected by scrawler scripts which have been released. The same repository users could create the same data set with it. To know more about prepared data. Okay, that's prepared data. What about introduction here somewhere? Okay. We'll just go to introduction. Okay, so Qlib is an AI orientated. You see, it mentions this AI thing again. I'd say forget about what the AI thing, right? It's not very AI, I don't think. Well, it may be. I'll report on that later, but when you're setting it up, there's not a hell of a lot of AI that I can see, right? So just forget about that part for the moment, and I'll report on it later if that's worthy of a mention or not. But anyway, It's a quantitative investment platform which aims to realize the potential, empower the research, and create the value of technologies in quantitative investment. Okay. You can easily try your ideas to create better quant investment strategies. Okay, so you've got this is the framework. So you have interface, you have the analyzer, forecasting analyzer, portfolio analyzer, execution analyzer, model interpreter, online serving. Right, then you have multi-level workflow or learning framework or infrastructure. Okay, so multi-level workflow, you have like the main strategy out here, then supervised learning based strategy. So I guess you have the main strategy and then you try and you hone it down as much as possible, I suppose. Then information extractor, which is factor. Factor, by the way, is a, like if you only have the ticker, then the open, high, low, close volume, you need to add, if you're bringing in data, custom data, you need to add a factor column just to let you know. And I think everything has to be in small letters, no capitals. I think that helps. You'll probably still run into problems, but anyway, that's as far as I can learn. So it's information extractor, so text, graph, event, forecast model, alpha, and then risk, and then decision generator, portfolio optimization, and rule based, and comes out with a decision. Then you have reinforcement learning based strategy instead of supervised learning based strategy. Maybe this is an option. So you can have this strategy, supervised, or reinforcement, which is policy, action interpreter, and then state interpreter coming this way. And that comes out of this strategy thing, decision executor, sub workflow, execution results, policy. And then there's all this sub workflow here. So I guess the supervised learning doesn't do any of this outside stuff, but if you're doing reinforcement learning, it goes to all this outside strategy executor all out here for some reason. Don't know why they couldn't have just put that in there, but anyway, it would have been a bit simpler to understand, I think. Like, because that looks like it's then part of that or something. I don't know. Anyway, they probably could have maybe illustrated that better. Maybe I'll find a way of illustrating it because I certainly don't understand it from looking at it. Learning framework, reinforcement learning. You've got policy here, order, execution, portfolio manager. So this is this part zoomed in, I suppose. Executor, order, execution, portfolio management, and then supervised learning framework, model training, forecast model. Infrastructure is data server, trainer, algorithms, auto, machine learning, model manager, models, decision generators. Explanation, right? So at the module level, Qlib is a platform that consists of above components. The components are designed as loose coupled modules, as each component could be used standalone. The framework may be intimidating for new users, but it tries to accurately include a lot of details for users. You can skip it first and read later, which is what I pretty much did. And then there's a quick start. Right, it's not going to be quick. Don't fool yourself. All right, you're getting into a whole lot of detailed stuff here. I don't know. Well, if you know what you're doing, maybe it is. Maybe you can do. Cython is important. Make sure you sort that one out, because I had to do something with that multiple times. I think it has to do with what do you call it when you have to compile the code or something in C? I think that's what it has. I've had issues with that. Clone the repository, install, prepare the data, whatever data you want there, and then your installation, prepare data, all the rest of it. So the step we're at is just sort of updating some of the machine learning stuff here, and hopefully we can get going soon. But as I said, I tried to learn to save it as a different image so that it's not temporarily saved, it's permanent, that I can just start all this again, because a lot of times I'd shut down the container and like I'd have to start all over again. And so I learned the hard way that Docker containers are temporary. So if you are doing it from Docker, which is should be an easy way to set it up. Just remember that, and make sure to ask your AI how to save it properly. And I'm committing it up to Git. I'm pushing it up to Git repository. I don't know how well I'm doing that, but I'm sure I'll figure it out, just in case. But I'm pretty sure once you have it up and running and saved, there shouldn't be too much extra you have to add. Although I do seem to have to add these things here, and I don't know if that RD agent is actually already there or not. As I said, the Docker one may not be as updated as the other one, the manual one, or whatever you want to call it. So I'll just wait for this to install here a bit more before we actually try some algorithms, hopefully. Just to remind you as well, the Discord is there if you want to pop in, say hello. Again, a low pressure environment to discuss whatever you want. Say what level you're at, how you're doing, any successful algorithms, anything you want, or anything else. Pop in if you like. Another thing I saw, you might have come across yourself if you're looking around, quantinsty.com, and they have a lot of kind of stuff that similar to QuantConnect would have some of these kind of tutorials as well. Introduction to machine learning, options trading, automated trading, right? Python. So Quantra or Quantra.Quintinsty, right? If you're looking for learning stuff, right? So that's handy as well. Numerai, another kind of thing is like you can get some information from if you want. So this guy is saying is Google. You can use Google Colab as well for some of these, which is very similar to the Jupyter notebooks, right? And he's asking for other recommendations. This guy's saying he's using Kaggle, which gives you maximum 12 hours run, 5 notebooks in parallel. With the API, you can automate your pipeline. You can do all sorts of stuff with Kaggle, right? In the future for, I suppose, running your machine learning and stuff, right? So good to get information maybe from Numerai, and also some stuff from Reddit as well, or Quant. And there's a couple of other suggestions as well here, algo trading or algorithmic trading or stock market, whatever, or Quant as well. And this guy was one of the only guys I could see on doing the stuff on Qlib. Well, this is a different guy talking about RD agent, X Yang. I was trying to find out about this, but this is the guy that was doing the Qlib stuff. The only person I could see on YouTube actually using it. And you can actually contact him for $40 and have a chat. So who knows, I might be doing that in the future. He was very good at explaining it on YouTube. So again, very relevant everything to what we're talking about here, and still just waiting for this almost installed down here. 58 seconds left or something, and then we should get something going. The data and everything seems to be okay now. Hopefully we'll get something going. Whether it's profitable or not, well, it's another story, but at least we'll get it going and get the workflow running somehow. See if we can get it running and back it up so that everything is permanent and exists next time I fire it up, the new image or whatever it is that I have to do. I forget a lot of the times what the hell I'm doing, you know. I have to usually go back. Sometimes a good tip as well is just to ask Claude or ChatGPT, you know, tell it to give you an update of like what you were doing last time, and that's a very quick way of kind of catching up and just say, okay, well, let's continue from there then. You know. Again, I don't know how to code, and I'm not a mathematician or anything, so you know. Oh, it's installing more stuff here. NVIDIA Qlib, whatever that is. I don't remember asking it to install that. It must be part of one of the things. Okay, I'll be right back up when this is finished. I can just show you briefly as well. Like I had the quick install part of it I did on ChatGPT on another project, but this will give you an idea from the start of the project to the end. This is all the install on ChatGPT, and I've only recently gone to Claude to fix it. That the last few issues that ChatGPT just couldn't seem to get, but Claude got it like within the first few things. Really, it didn't. There's not much on the Claude. Most of it's here in ChatGPT. So you see, this is days of work here. So you need a lot of patience for this stuff. Now, you might be lucky and you might know what you're doing and everything else, and you might be fine. A lot of the times I'm repeating the stuff as well, because I didn't know every time I stopped the container I had to do the same things and everything. So there's all this sudo apt-get stuff, and create environments, and like that's the amount of stuff. And if I was to do a video on every single one of these processes, it would be extremely long. So that's why these are kind of just the general kind of thing I've done. So you can see the amount of like basically just copy and pasting really of this is getting the data in, setting it up, making sure you're using the correct Python version. There's me telling it, well, it has to be because it's running from the container and in Docker, and then ChatGPT is like, oh, okay, and here's the inputs and the outputs, and it just goes on, and so that's days of work there. Me going back to terminals, consoles, whatever you want to call it, doing Python coding, saving texts, saving different YAML files, whatever, all sorts of things, right? But by and large, the Docker should really have most of the stuff there for you, but it's not that easy. Well, it wasn't for me anyway, by the looks of it. If you can see, that's just all setting up Qlib, right? So I hope I'm not wasting my time. And before that, I was installing the other guy's thing, which Part-Time Larry interviewed. He had his own thing, but I tell you, it's not worth it. Don't bother. Especially not if you're doing stocks anyway. Alright. So, if you want to know any of the processes, or if you're running into something similar to me, I could probably find it within here. I've probably had something similar issues. Unless you come across something different. But it's not all ready to go. I'll tell you that much. And even trying to do the data stuff from, like what it recommends, like APIs and stuff, I had a hard time with that as well. But I might do that later on for more granular data, which is like, that's really where I want to get to in the end. But there you go. That's all. That's days and days of work there. Back and forth, errors. Okay, lots and lots of errors. But finally we're here. We have it installed and the data is working. I think. Should be. We're just having this last install here. And then I'll report to you on Qlib. Yeah, so just to show you, just to compare to Claude today, only these few things, although it's more than I thought. But that sorted out the main issues that I was having in the end there. That was kind of lasted for 2 or 3 days, and then as soon as I switched to Claude, it was like, oh yeah, no, that problem is, and I fixed it. So I wonder, is ChatGPT trying to prompt you to go to the $200 a month pro thing by not answering certain questions, I certainly do feel like it's trolling me sometimes, and I don't get that feeling from Claude, really. Well, not yet anyway. Maybe it will after a while. So I think I'm going to be sticking with Claude for this. Right, so that will give you the idea of what's going on there. A lot of that is about Docker questions and saving things and pushing it to Git and so on. Even after I got it working, so right, I suppose you could pause that at any time if you can read it. I don't know if you can read it. The screen I'm recording on seems very small. So still more stuff installing here. I didn't say to install NVIDIA stuff. I only said to install pip install catboost, xgboost, and torch. I think I already have torch. Yeah, already satisfied here, some of that stuff. But for some reason, after catboost and xgboost, it needs a lot of NVIDIA stuff, which I didn't ask for, but I guess it must be required. So I'll just keep letting that finish then. Just to show you here, Qlib has been regularly updated up to even 1 day ago, and there's a lot of changes and bugs here and everything else, which is probably why I came across some of the issues. And yeah, you can see here yesterday, 4 days ago. So it's quite actively updated as well, which is good. 7 days ago. Alright, and you can check, and I think you can pull request merge. I guess you can like merge all the new bug fixes and updates into your new. That's what that means. I'm not too sure how to do that though. So, but yeah, so that's that one. And I don't know if I showed you all that part as well. Framework of Qlib and all the rest of it. And something coming is called BPQP for end-to-end learning, and that's under review. And RD agent was released. I wanted to have a quick look at the video that they're giving on it.
Data mining is the primary app.
Data mining. This is taking a while, but okay, you can look at their videos on RD agent as well, along with Qlib here to give examples. So that's good. I'm just still waiting on this. It seems to be adding lots of NVIDIA stuff. Maybe it's expecting me to have a proper graphics card, which I don't really, although it might be okay. It is an RTX. It's only on laptop though. But I think mainly, as other people suggested, maybe use Kaggle for some of this stuff. And maybe even install, that might be another video, I'll actually install Qlib on Kaggle itself. I think that is possible. So I might have a look at that as well. So okay, still waiting for this. 20 seconds it says this time. Alright, Sonnet 3.5 kind of crapped out, and now I'll have to use the Haiku one, and I don't know if I'm doing this right, but yeah, we are. Oh, we're getting something. Here we go. Training model. Prediction, direction, accuracy. Alright, I guess that did it then. Well, that was kind of quick, right? I did 3 months instead of a year, just so it would be quick. But I didn't know it'd be that quick. So we did cap boost. We did best model cap boost. Okay, so it's gone through the different models. It should have gone through the different models. There we go. That worked. That's, yeah, it's a very, very small data set, right? 3 months or something. But I'll put it into Claude here, and it should have said that that's actually working. Yeah, I think it is saying that. Yeah, it ran successfully. Very small data set. Yeah. Best model cap boost. Performance metrics. Yeah, terrible because it's only very small. Okay. Increase the size if possible. And yeah, we just might do that and see. So there we go. At least it's working. It's running. and everything is up and running there by the looks of it. It'd be good if it remembered the rest of the conversation that I was having in the other with 3.5 Sonnet, but I guess I can come back to that tomorrow. But there we go, something worked. I guess we could increase. Okay, let's say okay, increase. I suppose I can increase it myself. Where is the date? Oh, that's the one that didn't work. There was a lot of them. So it's doing XGBoost, CapBoost, Light GBM, and it's telling you which one is the best. All right. Where's the date on this? There, here, 2020 to 23. Okay, so we could put, I don't know, 2 years, maybe 2020 to 2022. See if that does any better. So just going to give it a different output then, right? So preparing, training model, this is going to probably take a lot longer. Making predictions, best model CapBoost. So that was still pretty quick. I don't suppose it should have been that quick. Really should have. It's doing samples. All right. Scores don't improve for 10 rounds. Early stopping, best iteration. Test metrics. I don't know. Well, we can do all sorts of plotting, I suppose, as well. I'll just give it the return on that. See what Claude says. What is Claude saying? Claude, what are you saying? Tell us what you're saying, Claude. Data set train. Improved slightly. Direction accuracy. It suggests overfitting or different things, producing potential issues with model complexity, feature selection, overfitting, insufficient variation. Yeah, it seemed to just come back very quickly for 2 years of data there, didn't it? I think there might be something going on there. Anyway, I think we might leave it at that for today. Unfortunately, didn't get much of a result other than that it's sort of working. I don't trust that it is working correctly though. Maybe I'll just run a quick test to see. This one apparently is more verbose or something. Making predictions. Best model again. At least it's more verbose to see that it's actually using the data properly. That's extremely quick. I mean, great if it is that quick. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing if it's going to be that quick. But I think there's something wrong here. Let's see what it's telling us here. Data preparation. Data range. 2019 to 2012. Almost 2 years there. Pretty much. Train. Model blah blah blah. CapBoost. Models are very close to form CapBoost as the model by a tiny margin. Direction actually is moved. The model seems to be predicting very similar value. Doesn't vary much. The direction accuracy suggests the model is slightly better than random. Yeah, apparently that can be the case with machine learning and daily data. So, I mean, that's another issue. Maybe we should add. Can you add more verbose to check verbose and print statements to check it's using the data reliably, or if the data itself is reliable. Maybe we should use certain stocks as well. I don't know what it's picking, what stocks it's picking. So the stocks themselves might be not that interesting. We might put in some what do you call it? Ways to check that it's selecting interesting stocks. Can you print more verbose and print statements that checked is using data reliably, or if the data itself is reliable? And also, maybe we should add some moving averages or MACD, etc., and possibly some conditions for stock selection. I'm concerned that it is finishing way too fast for it to be reliable. It's already putting in moving averages and stuff, so I don't know. Maybe also increase it to 5 years. Also make sure to show the whole code. Sometimes it shows snippets. Alright, we'll see how this one goes. If we can't get anything serious out of this, then there must be something wrong with how it's either what the code it's selecting, or I don't know, there must be something off about it. But at least it's kind of working. I mean, we're not getting any major errors, but it doesn't look right to me. We'll try this one and then I'll probably wrap the video up. Again, this is it's incredibly fast. Evaluating best model, cap boost, making predictions. It didn't have Seaborn there, so I pip installed it. So I presume it's going to plot some graphs or something here. Making predictions. Okay, at least this is taking a bit of time. That's not what the other ones were doing, was it? No. So, well, at least this is taking some time. This seems a bit more normal. So best one is cap boost. Tested XG boost and like GBM. I wonder what other ones we could try. That's interesting. Okay, there's all. So moving average 10, moving average 5, volume, different volume things here. Bollinger upper lower, MACD signals, histograms. Okay. As I said, maybe we'll put some conditions in on what stocks it actually selects or something. Well, I think that's what the volume was supposed to be doing there, is it? Outliers and MACD, the EMA, Bollinger. Right, statistical RSI as well there. Add technical indicators. There it is. EMA, EMA10, MACD, RSI, Bollinger, upper volume, change ratio. So it is, yeah, the change ratio and the volume. Why is it saying NAN though? RSI NAN, Bollinger NAN. So why would they be NAN? It's still making predictions anyway, so this is going to take, looks like it's going to take some time. I think I put 5 years in this time, I think. It's splitting the data as well, I think, I don't know. I don't think that's train cut off, valid cut off. No, I think there's training data and testing data then as well, so maybe that's why it's finishing so fast. Maybe it's just something I'm not understanding yet. Okay, so I'll let that try and make its predictions. I'll give it a bit of time. So I was just asking it there, is it because it's the visuals and the plotting? Is that what's actually taking the longest thing? Because it seems to already come up with an answer, and it's kind of saying, yeah, pretty much. By the way, so I don't know how long that's going to take because there's no progress bar, so I said we should have added one, and now it's giving me code to add one, which I might actually do now. So this is what you want to do anyway. You want to get the actual Docker code or whatever image you're running, and then you have to set it up to commit it basically makes a new image. So here we're going to make a new image then again, Docker commit, and that should save all my pip install Seaborn and everything, I hope. And then I think we can also commit that to the Git as well. So we can git add docker run container ps1 as well. So that's saving us a new image now. With all, I hope, with all the new installs there, including the new machine learning models and Seaborn and stuff. Okay, so that should have done that. And then there's a git. Right, so git commit. So I guess we should git add docker. Do we need to add that again? I'm not too sure. Git commit updated run script. Maybe just push it. Maybe just push the new image. Will that work? One file change one. See, I'm not too used to using Git here, but let's push it and see what happens. Everything up to date? Do I need to commit? Maybe I need to commit before I push. Updated with, alright, I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll run it, how do I cancel this now? That's the thing. Now that it's in this Jupyter format. Usually you just press Ctrl+C. Does that work here? No. Or maybe I can do it because I have no, it's not working in here. How do you cancel? Let's ask Claude. How do you cancel a Jupyter cell? There's probably just a button up here or something. Ctrl+C, it says Ctrl+C here as well. Or maybe that's Ctrl+C on this one, is it? No? Say it here, create a duplicate, no. Delete it, you can delete the cell. I don't know. Doesn't do it straight away anyway. Using the stop button. Oh, here's a stop button up here. See it? It's up there, all the way up the top there. I can stop it. Interrupt the kernel. I don't know if I should be interrupting the kernel though, should I? Restart the kernel. Okay, though that doesn't seem to be working either. It's well on its way to trying to figure out the predictions, I guess. Anyway, I'm happy enough with that progress. Maybe in the next video we will be able to get some pretty graphs and have a look at the workflow. I think we've managed to get Qlib working. It looks like. May not be perfect, but I think it looks like it's pretty much working. And we may see if we can also install it on Kaggle as well. And yeah, I guess it's maybe the plotting the graphs takes up a lot of the time. So maybe if we maybe just don't do that a lot of the time until you get something good, and only when you get something good, then redo it with the graphs in it, because that was so quick without the graphs and stuff. That looks like that might be the way to do it. I mean, if that's the case, I don't know if that's the case, or if there's something wrong with the data possibly as well. But I mean, daily data should be giving me something in 5 years with all of these different models, right? I know daily data isn't great, but okay, I'm just going to leave the video there for now. I hope this has helped you somehow. Again, I'll just remind you the Discord is there. You can pop in. It's underneath the YouTube, and or leave a comment down below, all that kind of stuff. All right. I hope that helped somebody out there. I'll try and put in the description what this is. Qlib mainly install and kind of trying to get it working. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time here on Scooby Algo Trades. That's it for me for today. See you next time. Scooby-Doo.